Hey y'all, how's it going? It's been a minute since I've filmed. It's been a couple weeks actually, because the videos that you guys saw for the last couple of weeks I pre-filmed before I went on vacation. So it's really good to be back. I had an awesome vacation. Unfortunately, the vacation ended with me getting glutened, which if this is your first time here, probably a weird one for you to join. I have celiac disease, and so me and gluten don't get along at all. So I actually tried to film an update, just like a hey, the day after we got back, and I looked at the footage and I just looked like a train wreck. So I gave myself a few days to recover, and now I'm filming an update for you guys for Friday video. So I'm feeling much better now, getting better every day. The way that celiac presents itself in me is that I just don't digest food. You can do with that, with your imagination, whatever you'd like, and it's really just exhausting. It causes a ton of brain fog, so I don't want to dwell too much on that. I'll throw up a couple of photos of my vacation. We had a great time. I certainly needed to unplug, but that's not why you're here. You're here to get an update on the garden. So there's a lot to do. It's really overwhelming actually, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. First, let's take a look at the seedlings. So the seedlings are massive. These are my biggest tomato seedlings. And we have one more cold weekend before they're gonna get hardened off. And so when they get hardened off, they will go live permanently outside. I just started up potting my pepper seedlings, which these guys will still have a little bit of time before they get put outside. This is what they looked like when I got back. They definitely need new pots. They're getting pretty big for these little trays. So I'm working on this week. That's a big project. The other big project is starting some of my flower seeds, and cucumbers and squash. Now, I've been very back and forth on doing squash this year, and I finally came to the decision that I am going to try a couple of plants, and I'm going to start them very early, so by the time they actually get in the ground, they'll be nice and big. So the other reason I decided to try and grow squash was because one of my viewers actually gave me a tip on tatume squash, and it can be a summer or a winter squash, and it does really well against squash vine borers. So this is all research I've read. We're gonna put it to the test and see if this is actually what happens. So this will certainly be a project for this weekend. I'm gonna start some of my zinnias. I'm gonna start my cucumbers, my melons, my marigolds. I just want as much to be started as possible before I actually plant things out. The other thing that needs to happen is these tomatillo seedlings are very leggy, but these are a lot like tomato seedlings. They have the little hairs so you can plant them super deep, but these tomatillo seedlings need bigger pots, and honestly these eggplants probably need bigger pots as well. You learn pretty quick that the bigger the garden you decide you want to have, the more work you're in for, which is fine. Also, I need to make myself some coffee, but I'm gonna keep talking to you. I'm totally down for the amount of work that it takes to execute this size of a garden. However, I am getting more responsibility at work, which is great, no complaints there. I'm getting more responsibility at work. I'm trying to pump out an extra YouTube video per week, and I'm expanding my garden at the same time, while also trying to maintain all the other balls that I'm juggling. And I did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about this new phrase that I'm using, that I'm sure somebody else said before I did, but I'm calling it privileged chaos, and that's because I in my life have had real problems, like haven't been able to pay rent, haven't been able to buy groceries. I've had some real life problems, and I'm telling you right now, advancing in your career, building a bigger garden, and having the time to pursue your passions, not a real life problem. And while it can certainly be qualified as stressful, which it is, it is chaotic. It's a very privileged chaos because you're not experiencing these like really intense real life problems. So anyways, now that I got that speech out of the way, apparently I need some more coffee. So let's pop outside, see what's happening out there. I live in Central Texas, zone 8B, and this is categorically the weirdest time of the year for weather because it'll get up to like 78 during the day and then it'll get down to 40 at night. So we have these like very large temperature swings that are kind of just difficult. It's like spring's tempting you to put your stuff outside, but then ultimately we always have like a crazy last freeze. So one thing that did happen is all of my citrus trees and all of my little tree babies, they are all back out here where they need to be, honestly. I had put them in the garage for the freeze while we were gone, and yeah, it's just, they need to be outside. So let's look at those real quick. So this is my Eureka pink lemon tree, and it actually, I thought that guy was gonna fall off, but he's hanging on, so maybe I'll get a lemon this year? That would be exciting. I certainly didn't expect it, but this tree has grown exponentially since I got it last year. And then my key lime tree is looking pretty good. My Meyer lemon tree is looking really bad. Like really, really bad. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I fertilized it to see if I could give it a little boost, but compared to the other two, it's looking pretty rough. And then I have some more small lemon trees. This Okinawa spinach I really need to get in the ground. I just haven't decided where I want to put it yet. And then I've just got some little like tree seedlings that are from cuttings, and these are also some cuttings that I'm trying to get rooted. I'm putting them in like a more shady spot, but it looks like we're probably gonna have some success. So that is good news. Some of them are figs, some of them are plums. And yeah, pretty excited for those. And then in regards to the actual garden, there's nothing happening. I mean, there's some like sugar snap peas that I kind of like forgot to take care of, but and then the only other exciting thing is that these are some tree cuttings. These are plums. And look, that's exciting. The garden's getting in the swing of things, and then I'll show you my community plot later today. I need to go water. I did go the day after I got back, and everything's alive. We did have a bit of a cold snap while I was gone. And everything's still alive, so garlic and onions are looking really good. I do think I'm going to go ahead and plant my potatoes at the community plot, because the things I want to plant at the community plot can be planted a little bit later after the potatoes are done. So I'm planning at the community plot to do okra, sweet potatoes, and stuff like that. So I can actually put stuff in the community plot right now that I don't have to really remove until like May. Or even June, really. Last year I planted my okra in July. No, last year I planted my okra in June, and I had okra by like end of July. So, okra is one of those that you can really kind of like abuse in the heat. But anyways, I'm still trying to think through. I committed to being a bit more like spiritual about my planting for the community plot this year. That's really hard. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and plant my potatoes, hope that it doesn't freeze, and we'll go from there. Like I said, I'm feeling better every day. My vacation was absolutely fantastic, but it was certainly a bummer to kind of come home and not feel 100%. So, but that's okay. We pick things up and we keep on moving. So let's go to the community plot. Hey guys, okay, so we are at the community plot, and I have great news. Everything lived. So my onions look nice and healthy, which is great. The garlic looks to be doing pretty well. I even have some like little random guys coming up. Some of it's looking a tiny bit yellow, but that could have been because of the freeze. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good. I definitely have a couple of weeds I need to get out here and pick, but all in all, it looks like what I had in the garden and my seedlings survived my vacation pretty well. In no small part to the lovely friends I had helping me out. Okay, y'all. It is Thursday. Starting to really get a lot of my strength back, which is awesome. I'm feeling good. So I wanted to show you guys. I have started bringing my tomato seedlings outside. This isn't like officially me hardening them off, and honestly I'm only gonna leave them out here for like probably an hour. They probably won't ever actually get like direct sunlight today, but they really need some airflow. I've noticed that like the plants are big and beautiful and strong, but the stems are not super sturdy. And I'm trying to have a fan in my grow room going, but it's not helping that much. So I've decided on our nice days, which is today, it's gonna be 68 degrees today and sunny. On our nice days, I'm gonna bring them outside so they can get some really solid airflow, so their stems can really start strengthening up. Now we do have a couple of cold snaps on the way. This is kind of the cat and mouse game we play every spring, but we're gonna start doing this. I'm going to cut up my seed potatoes today to get my potatoes planted because I'm a few days behind on that. We're just out here doing our best, y'all. I need to make a list desperately. Hey y'all, wanted to go ahead and sign off this vlog. Thanks so much for catching up with me this week since I've been out, and next week we're going to be planting potatoes, and I don't even know what we're doing next week. This is why I need to make a list. So thanks so much for watching. Happy gardening, and we'll see you next time.